All right, what's up, guys? Back. My name is Evan, and today we're continuing on here in the Bosque. So yesterday, today is actually November 22nd. It's a Saturday in 2025, and yesterday I showed you all through the Alameda open space. And so we're just continuing on where exactly I left off. I went back and I looked at the footage because that was my first time, it was my first time using this equipment and stuff. And I made a couple of adjustments. I do like having the chest mount rather than having like a handlebar mount, it seems to be a little smoother. And I might experiment with other mounts, maybe like a helmet mount, or I've seen a chin mount, which looks really cool for like a helmet and that kind of stuff. But I don't generally like to wear helmets too much, like big full-on motocross helmets. So we'll see how it goes. But I'm digging this chest mount. I saw a couple of things that I was doing that I need to be careful of. Sort of like when I'm pedaling and stuff, I have to kind of keep my upper torso a little more stable when I'm doing that. I gotta remember that, a camera is on. So, but yeah, so today we're continuing on where we left off. It's Saturday. Let this person pass here real quick. I have an event later tonight. Where I'm doing like an event for it's a birthday party, and I really enjoy doing birthday parties. This person is turning 50 years old, and so yeah, I'm excited about that. One thing that I do is I always prepare in advance, so that I can do stuff like this, like I can relax and kind of clear my head before I actually do an event on the day before and the day of. So I think it's really important to do that. Your rest is I'd say for like event people that put on events like I do, I think your rest is probably 50% attributable, or attributes 50% to your performance. The other 50% is all preparation, right? What I mean by that is making sure that your music is in line, making sure that your mixes and everything have been practiced. You practice with the music you're going to be playing, but the other side to that is 50% is your rest. So the day before, I just relax, because I know I've already done all the preparation for my event throughout the week. I got all the details down, got everything taken care of. That way, on the morning of the event, I can kind of, clear my head a little bit with like a bike ride or something like that. But so yeah, we're out here today. This is kind of the bulk. I'm starting the bulk of the Bosque Trail, right? So I'm coming from Paseo and I'm continuing on. I'm going to be going all the way to Tingley Beach. And I think what I'll do is I'll kind of I'll kind of cut in between scenes, because I don't necessarily think you guys want to see an entire trip all the way through the Bosque trail, but I'm gonna kind of go in and out as far as, because that's gonna take at least 2 hours. So I'm gonna go in and out depending on how far the next important spot is. And there's a whole bunch of different like spots that you run into on the Bosque, and I'll just kind of film those in conjunction. But yeah, a couple of things that I did raise my seat. So I raised my seat about 6 inches so that the handlebars wouldn't be as visible. Oh, and I meant to do that actually, so I'm gonna actually make that flat so I can see a little bit better, or you guys can see a little bit better. And I lowered this as well, this little mirror that I have, kind of adjusted it. It actually turned out better than the way it was before. So here we go, guys. I think we're back in business. We've improved things for sure. So I'm gonna turn it off here. All right, so I wanted to kind of show you guys how nice it is in between the fall and winter here. You know, so it's November and you can kind of see all the really nice leaves that are changing colors. You know, you got the greens going to the oranges to the yellows, and it's just a really awesome scene. You know, got some runners out here, got a lot of bikers going on. Let me go ahead and pass them. And yeah, I wanted just for you guys to see a little bit of that, how beautiful it is here in the Bosque. Right next to me, right down here, is that ditch, that Bernalillo drain that I was talking to you about earlier. And you know, that river is stocked with fish, so you can actually do some fishing in there. So you can see that this trail is also used by runners as well. We have some really fast runners. In fact, I think for the NCAA cross-country championships, one of the UNM runners actually won that. So I was the men's section won that. So or the male UNM runner won that. I can't remember his name, but congratulations to him. I think at some point I'm actually going to give you guys kind of a tour of UNM. I might even get some of that footage today and then upload it later on so you guys can see what UNM looks like if you're interested in matriculating there. But yeah, I have a feeling that today here in the Bosque it's going to be a little bit busy, just simply because it's Saturday and there's a lot of people that are going to be here, you know, on Saturdays and Sundays. Usually this trail is used for all kinds of you know, running events and things like that. So, and I'm not sure about cycling events, but I think it also gets used for that kind of stuff too. All right, so it looks like we're coming up upon our next junction, and I want to tell you a little story about something over here in a second. Let me show you. This is this street right here that we're getting ready to cross under is called Montano. It's a very well-known street here in Albuquerque. It allows people from the northeast to travel over to the northwest part of town. It was kind of a controversial thing at first when they first built it, but it turned out to be a pretty good addition. But like I was telling you earlier, I used to do a lot of running, and the trail I used to run on was all the way, it's like this same trail that we're on, except it's on the other side and it's dirt. And so there's a whole bunch of different terrain. But I remember one time I was running over here and I actually came upon a dead body. And yeah, the guy, he was probably, I want to say he's probably in his 50s, but I found him over here. And it's crazy because at the time when I was running, I wasn't carrying a phone with me. And so I had to yell out to a biker up here on the road where we're at, asking him if he could call the police and everything. And I stayed with the body and until the police showed up and everything. And the police were really cool about it. You know, they asked me a couple of questions, asked me, you know, what time I found him, and actually asked me if I wanted to talk to a chaplain, which is, I guess he's kind of like a counselor, sort of, for the police department. And so, yeah. So yeah, so I, in fact, there's someone riding down there. That's cool. That's cool. I might try that trail one of these days, but on a bike. But yeah, so I found him over there, and I found him with the G, you know, one of these in his mouth. So the guy had done one of these to himself, and it had kind of a weird effect on me. You know, after that, I kind of started appreciating life a lot more, I think, after I saw that, you know. And it was kind of a freaky thing to experience, but yeah, I mean, that was my experience with seeing somebody who had died like that, and looked like it was a violent kind of situation. So we're gonna continue on. I'm pretty sure the pistol itself was live as well. I mean, it was a semi-automatic pistol, and once those are chambered, generally you'll have a magazine that has a whole bunch of bullets after that, and it continues to fire. It's a semi-auto. So, but okay, so I wanted to actually show you guys this over here too. So this is a nice little fishing spot that the Game and Fish actually comes in, and they stock this area. The water's really clear right now, so it's probably going to be hard to catch fish right now, and I don't see any swimming around at all. I mean, usually when Game and Fish stocks these, people are here almost immediately to capture those fish. But the part that they usually stock is a little bit further up. We'll go look at that right now. But this whole area usually has fish in it. And we're crossing underneath the bridge for Montano right now. And you can see over here, this fishing hole is pretty good. I would say it's a good between 7 to 8 feet at its deepest. We'll have a look at it. But it's pretty nice, you know. You get all that, you know, that's usually where the Game and Fish stock that little trout hole right there, and you can do some fishing there. So it's pretty enjoyable. You see all the pretty leaves. One of these days I'll have to show you where I used to run quite often. I used to run right over here. I used to go around this, it's sort of like a track. And each time you'd go around, it'd be 3/4 of a mile. So I'd go all the way from my house to here running, and I'd usually go through the ditch, and then I'd come over here and I'd start running around that. I do that like 5 or 6 times in order to get my long run in. But yeah, it was a fun time. But that's the river right there that you can actually do some fishing in. Let's come up here. Look both ways, because sometimes people come through here pretty fast. Cool. So yeah, so this is our next junction spot right here. This area is right in between that Montano and then I-40. And so we'll look at this. It looks like they're doing some maintenance, right? Some grounds maintenance and stuff like that over here. Sometimes they do that. You know, they pick up or do some maintenance or whatever they're doing there. So if you didn't know, guys, we're actually there's a UNM here in Albuquerque, in University of New Mexico, which is a really nice school. They have a really good law school. They have a really good medical school, well renowned. You know, excellent engineering department, everything like that. So a lot of our brightest go to that school, and they find nice careers, and they have good businesses and everything like that. They open up businesses. So I'm real proud to be part of the community here that, you know, of students that attend UNM and stuff. I went there for a little while, and then I transferred to a school called New Mexico State. But here is another fishing spot. Hopefully you guys can see that. I'll show you a little bit better from this angle here. But yeah, this is one of those transition spots. Continue on. In through there, you can actually go to the Rio Grande Nature Center State Park. You can go in there and walk around, and there's all kinds of really cool exhibits showing some of the attributes, the plants and attributes that make New Mexico, New Mexico, or Albuquerque, you know. Hopefully today I can see a coyote, but I have a feeling that's not going to happen, just simply because there's quite a few people that are in the Bosque right now. They've probably been scared off at this point. So let me go ahead and pass these.
It's really hard.
You know, New Mexico is actually a really high quality fitness place too, considering, you know what I mean? Like, you know, obviously you have places like California where people are involved in a lot of fitness. You know, you got Muscle Beach and all that kind of stuff, but out here too, the same thing goes. There's a lot of people that are really interested in fitness and staying, you know, fit. One of the really interesting things about Albuquerque is that it's a relatively high elevation. So we're at 5,000 plus, depending on where you're at in the city, 5,000 plus feet in elevation. And so when guys like me that used to run a lot go to places like California, we tend to fare pretty well in sports. You know, within the week that we're there, our body has a lot more red blood cells. And so when we go to those places, it's almost like, you know, there's this stuff called EPO. I think it's called EPO that some people take to increase their blood cell count. Well, if you're training in New Mexico in certain parts, especially if you're above like 7,000 elevation, there are certain areas in New Mexico where you can be above 7,000 elevation, and you're doing a lot of running and cycling and that kind of stuff in those elevated areas, your body produces those, and then when you produces those red blood cells in quantity, and then when you go to these places for you know, to work out or do you know, these competitions, then you have a natural advantage. So that's one of the good things. One of the reasons I think why, you know, most recently the guy from UNM just killed the competition out there in in the cross country championships. You know, he's from here. Well, he resides here at UNM, but you know, he has that body structure of being able to run super fast. So yeah, so we just passed another little junction right there, and next junction we're gonna be at is at I-40. All right, cool. So we're now approaching I-40. Okay, I-40 major interstate, right? I-40 is right in front of us. You know, that goes all the way from California to friggin' Kansas, I don't know, somewhere out there. But yeah, well-known interstate right here. We're gonna go under it right now. I'm gonna show you a little bit of what's under this bridge. So today we're actually just going 10 miles an hour just to be safe. Make sure everything's all good. All right, so here we go. Here's another section of the river right through here. Right now on the other side, apparently there's this place called or a tunnel way over there called Hell's Gate or something like that, or like the Satanist tunnel or something, like, I'm not sure exactly, but it has something to do with that stuff. I don't plan on going in there just simply because it's just not my cup of tea. I try not to mess around with spirits like that too much. Kind of freaks me out a little bit. But yeah, so now we're starting to get more into I would say the the southwest part of town. We're sort of once we cross over Central, then we'll be really in the southwest, and we're getting ready to do that here in a little while. But yeah, a lot of these houses are really, really nice over in this area. A lot of people like to be in the Bosque right here by the river. Some pretty intense mosquitoes out here for sure. Sometimes when I'm riding my bike, I'll run into like a group of mosquitoes, and it'll be kind of gross. But we're gonna show you the next section here in just a second. So yeah, guys, we're starting to approach Central right now, but I wanted to show you guys also that right next to me, there's a little rabbit. See him right there? Let's see what he does. Right next to me, on the left side of me, we actually have the zoo, okay, Albuquerque Zoo. If you get a chance, go check out the zoo. It's a really fun experience for sure. We have a nice zoo. It's all completely walkable. You know, you don't need a bus or anything like that to get around there. It's a fun experience for sure. It's not very expensive. You know, I think it's like, I'm trying to remember. I think it's like $8 or something like that for residents, and a little bit more for non-residents. And next to the zoo, there's a place called the Albuquerque Botanical Gardens. That's right off of Central as well. And that's a really neat place. I kind of dabble in acting, right? So I do like background work, and whenever they need like a DJ or something like that for a show or whatever, usually I get hired for that. But yeah, this is the Botanical Gardens, and I got some headshots done and body shots done here at that location. They have a really nice place also for weddings too, if you can believe that, in that Botanical Garden spot. So if you get a chance and you're out of town, you're from out of town or whatever, that's one of the cool places you can go. Right now, it looks like they're all getting prepared and ready for a thing called City of Lights, right? So they put that on every year right before Christmas, and I think it lasts all the way till December, and you know, for Christmas and everything like that, or all the way through like 31st. So if you get a chance, go check that out. It's a really cool experience. They have a whole bunch of different exhibits in there as well, and they show kind of the the plants and the botanical stuff that's part of New Mexico. So yeah, as you can see right now, we're actually coming upon Central, and Central has an interesting history for sure. It's, you know, it's the central part of Albuquerque, and this is where we're crossing over from the northwest or the northeast part of town, and we're going to be crossing over to the southwest part of town. All right, guys, so we're here at Tingley Beach. Now, this first pond is actually where they do model boat driving, right? Or yeah, they do that remote control model boat stuff over here on the first pond. And also like the ducks and the geese and everything like that. Love that little pond. You can see it right there, right? So it's sort of like a sanctuary for them. And even though we call it Tingley Beach, it's not really a beach per se, like that you might see in California or Los Angeles. I'm going to show you this next pond right here is actually the kiddie pond. So this children's pond right here is for kids at a certain age. There's certain, I think there's a cutoff limit for a certain age over here, but that's the next pond, the second one. And people probably do okay. It looks like we got a guy fly fishing, which is cool. That's my gig right there, is fly fishing. That's what I love to do. So, yeah, youth only, everything. Children's pond. The next pond is the main pond. So this one right here is adult, and it's all catch and take. You can actually take the fish. But you can see that, you know, it's pretty well populated. So like I said earlier, whenever people find out that Game and Fish has stocked this place, usually everybody shows up. So it's called the Central Pond. You can do bait fishing, you can do fly fishing over here. It's stocked with rainbow trout. A lot of people come over here. It's a great time. All right, so we're gonna cross over here. Got a couple little spots where you can fish from a little docking area. Nice little nature area over here. We'll come up through here, I guess. All right, and this is where it sort of opens up. You see all the fish out here. I used to fish out here all the time, and I haven't fished here for quite a while. A lot of people use like power bait and that kind of thing in this area. You can get a better view of it here. Right? Saturday, you know, a lot of people are gonna be here on Saturdays. So.
It takes out the hook here.
Some cool looking pit bulls. Very neat.
Enjoy your day, brother.
Okay, you too.
Unknown caller.
So here, this is the catch and release pond right here. Very cool pond. I've caught fish in this before, and I had to be here really early in the morning to do that. I caught a humongous rainbow trout in here on a black leech that I was using, and it was early. I think it was like, I want to say like 7 o'clock in the morning. And so, you know, you have to be pretty advanced fisherman to catch fish over here. It's not easy to do at all. So, but that's what that little pond looks like. I don't call it a lake. It's not really a lake. It's more like a pond. And so the way you get to all these is through a little entryway that's up further and then off to the left-hand side. And then one of these days, well, I'm gonna pass it right now. So what do you think? There's a little fishing hole here in Albuquerque, central Albuquerque. And it looks like we got a couple of people that are doing some fly fishing stuff. A lot of people just like to come here and hang out, enjoy the scenery. And they have a little waterfall that's over in that area. And you can get to this area through this little road right here. And that's Tingley Beach for you guys. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the adventure today.